And Johnnie Roberts, welcome back to another great episode of, well, your podcast. Good to have you with us again.
Good to be here. Thanks, Mike.
You are welcome. We are talking today with Johnnie Roberts, Amazon best-selling author of Retire at New Heights. He's a retirement planning expert. There's that book. You can get a free copy of that book. Johnny will give you a copy to read about him and about how to build a retirement shield around your financial future, giving you great peace of mind. And what we've been doing, Johnny, is just walking through that book, chapter by chapter, explaining to people and helping them understand how to protect themselves, how to put a retirement shield around their finances, their future. And I know as you this is our last segment around your book, but we talk about at the end here, really one of the first things you do when you talk with somebody that you're working with, a client, is what is their purpose in retirement? Unpack that as why is that even important for people to consider, and why do you kind of start there as you do the planning process?
Well, I think there's principles that are out there that are, and I'll use a term of like almost like, I'm kind of a person of faith. So like there's biblical principles out there that apply to every area of everyone's life. And
Hmm.
purpose is one of those principles. And there has to be purpose in every area of our life.
Hmm.
There's a purpose of as we're growing up, as we get married, while we're working, and there needs to be a purpose in retirement too. Purpose of what we're going to do with our life, purpose of our money, right? What is the purpose of this money? What's the purpose of this amount of money? What's the purpose of this money? And what are we going to do with this money during our retirement? People retire, they just got, okay, I got this big nest egg. Okay. How do I divide that up to make this money is going to go towards this? That's the purpose of this money. This money is going to go towards this. That's the purpose of this money. So if you follow purpose throughout your life, it's a principle that I think helps make you successful because once again, there's principles that just, whether you believe in it or not, there's still principles that just work, you know what I
Right.
mean, across the board. So, and that's one of them, having purpose for different things in different phases of your life. So that's what you say, man. What are you doing? What do you want to do? What's your purpose for the next 20, 25 years?
Right.
Within that purpose, how's this particular amount of money going to help accomplish that purpose? Is this money you want to give and donate and bless people with? Is this money you want to travel with? Is this money maybe going to the grandkids if you pass away for education or something? Is this money to buy the motorhome and, travel the country, pay out the house? I don't know, whatever, but finding that purpose instead of just got all this sitting here. I got no idea what to do.
Right. And that's the thing, and what I've seen too many times in as people get into retirement, if they've not thought about these purposes or what they want to do, they think, well, retirement's just I'm going to golf every day and sit around the house and play, whatever. And that typically what happens is a really short retirement. What I've seen when people do that is they don't live very long because they lack purpose. They've worked for 30, 40, 50 years with purpose of some nature to get to retirement. But retirement's not the goal, dare I say, right? It's just another transition to another life of multiple purposes, like you said. And so you probably ask some questions to clients to help them just really start to think. And it doesn't have to be some big esoteric thing, but it's like you said. Do you want to travel? Do you want to give money to church and charities? Do you want to give money to your kids, grandkids? What are your purposes, and how do we start allocating some of those funds with in order to do that so you live a life on purpose? Is that a fair summary?
Oh, big time. Absolutely. And we use this concept a lot for folks is that you live the first 30 or 40 years of your adulthood trying to get to the top of this mountain of retirement. We use like Mount Everest as an example. You're very planned out, very careful. Just like people that climb Mount Everest, man, they are just like listening. They're doing the steps because they don't want to die doing it, right? So
Right.
they're very particular. But do you know that most folks on the Mount Everest trek, most people that actually die doing that are die on the way down. Like 59 or 60% of the people that actually do that trek of the deaths of doing that are on the way down. So
Mm-hmm.
it's on the retirement thing. Think about it, that same concept. I've worked my butt off to get to this top. Okay, now am I going to be just as diligent to have a plan to get down,
Right.
to enjoy and say I've succeeded and accomplished things, but now I still have to have a plan of attack a purpose as I climb back down into that beautiful valley. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, but you're right. Having a purpose, um, having a plan of what you want to do is so important. Otherwise, you're just like, if you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, it starts out with a leaf in the wind and it just
Yeah.
kind of blows around. And that's the way some people live their life. Some people live their retirement and just kind of, and wherever
Yeah.
it goes, it ends up.
Well, and I think what another way, another word that I'm thinking as you just explained all of that, purpose in retirement, it's really about contribution. You spent 30, 40 years contributing to a company or whatever, building a business. Now it's your turn to contribute in new and different ways. And that could be to your family, to nonprofits, to taking vacations, to a number of different things. It could be for some people picking up a part-time job. I've talked to a lot of retired people who are working not because they have to, but because they want to. They love people. They love adding value. And some of them are like shuttle drivers at automotive repair shops where they get to just interact with people or there's just go volunteer at schools. But I think contribution is a big aspect of this. And what Johnny and his team help you do is really structure your financial situation so that you have peace of mind. You've got retirement income for life. You've taken care of taxes. You understand Social Security and how to take those well. You've planned for long term care. These are all episodes we've done in this series. And all of that is important, but it all starts with your purpose, your contribute. What are you going to be doing in retirement, and how can Johnny help you use the dollars that you've generated over these years to help you accomplish that contribution, that purpose in retirement, right?
What you want to have is, I feel like you want to have a retirement of a want to, not a have to.
Mm,
I want to be able to want to do these things, not that I have to do these things. You know what I
right.
mean? I'm going to be in trouble if I don't do this, so I have to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a work, maybe it's some kind of debt problem you got yourself into, maybe it's some kind of traveling or whatever it may be, but you want it to be a want to. Man, I want to be able to do this and I can, you know what I mean, out of my choice.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's all different for people. Some people we talk to are just like, hey, I want to go camping a few times a year, hang around my house, lay by our pool, relax. My kids are all local, hang out with my grandkids, be able to go to their games. Some people, we just met with a couple weeks ago. They want to be gone 6 months out of the year overseas, traveling all over the world. You know,
Mhm.
that's their goal, and they're planning for that. They have financial resources set up. We're helping them put together a plan to put aside the money to be able to do that for the next 10 or 12 years of their life, early retirement age.
Mhm.
That's a big objective and goal. I mean, Greece, all over to Greece, Asia, all over the place,
Yeah.
Japan, and that's their goal. You know, so it's all relative to what people want to do, but it's a want to thing versus retirement of, "Oh, man, I have to go back to work now,"
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
And I love that because different people have different dreams and visions and goals and purposes, and it's okay. But what our listeners have to understand is if you don't want to go travel the world, that's okay. If you want to hang out by the pool and go to your kids' little league game, that's awesome. How do we help you do that on a want to basis, not a have to basis? If you want to take your kids, I know one guy that takes his grandchildren on when they turn like 13, wherever they want to go. So they might want to go to a beach or wherever, and they've set up their financial situation so that they can do that with each grandchild to build memories. That's what they want to do. And I thought that's really cool. But what it takes is it takes a little bit of thinking. And sometimes when you need to do this deep thinking, as we call it, you need somebody like Johnny who's been around the block a few times, who's talked with hundreds of people and have helped them put together this retirement shield plan to protect their finances, to give them peace of mind, and to give them this want to retirement. I really like that because in retirement, you've worked hard to get here. Johnny wants you to enjoy it for the rest of your life. And that's why he helps you leverage everything you have using the tools that he has in his toolbox so that you can build a retirement shield to protect your family, but to also live your retirement years the way you want to live them. And is that kind of a good summary, Johnny?
It is. And it all comes down to, once again, the whole planning thing. And some of the stuff we've talked about is we don't want to have any taxes come out of left field. They're going to affect our want to and make us do a have to, right? No tax weird things happen. no unpreparedness for long-term care situations, messing up on our Social Security. So if we kind of plan ahead and kind of shield ourselves from all that, we can keep that want to retirement the way we want it to be. And also, a lot of times, I heard this from a good friend years ago, and it's so true. It's a lot of times people just have to simply think about all I got to do to be successful in retirement when I'm planning is sometimes just moving money from my left pocket to my right pocket. It's that
Mm,
simple.
yeah.
I've got the tools and resources. I just got it all in one side. And
Yeah.
I just have to change it up a little bit, make something as simple as that.
Hmm.
And change is hard sometimes, but as we know, change can produce positive results. We've done it our whole life in different ways. And it's same thing in retirement, changing the mindset a little bit, looking at things differently, taking some advice from folks and trying to shield ourselves from those things and saying, oh, you know what, that makes sense. I need to move some of my money from over here to over here, have a different mindset about certain things, and go from I have to I want to. If you want to drive the car at the Ford dealership to do that, that's a want to, not a have to, right?
Hmm.
That's what I like to do. So that's kind of the mindset. You're exactly right. Letting people um, enjoy it versus not enjoy it should be a great time of your life.
It should be. And I like that, moving money from one pocket to the next pocket, because both those pockets are still yours. And what Johnny does is helps you build a shield of protection around your finances to shield you from too many taxes, to make sure you have lifetime income, to make sure you're taking Social Security properly and not leaving money on the table, to protect you with long-term care solutions for your family that are going to relieve some of that financial and physical and emotional burden, and to help you think through your purpose in retirement so you can have a want to retirement. You can read lots more about this in Johnny's Amazon best-selling book, Retire at New Heights. Just reach out to him and request a
Mhm.
copy of his book. It's a really good read. You'll get to know Johnny at a new level. He'll ask you some great questions. He'll educate you through the pages of that book, and then sit down with him, reach out, just schedule a call with him, talk with him about your situation, and let him help you understand how to plan properly for retirement, because you're going to be in retirement for a long time. So you need to make sure that you have a want to retirement, and that's what Johnny and his team help you do. So let me encourage you to take that next step. Just reach out to Johnny and request a copy of his book, set an appointment with him, have that conversation, and let him educate you, share with you what the tools are available to you so that you can retire at new heights. Johnnie Roberts, man, thank you for who you are. Thank you for how you care for your clients, how you educate people, how you protect them with this retirement shield process. And thanks for writing your book and making it available to people to request a free copy from you. Thanks for all that you do to help people, Johnny.
I appreciate it. It's been great, and we will definitely talk to you soon. And looking forward to helping some more people out the best we can, man. We appreciate it.